I'm Hannah Crean, and I went to New York.
My name is J.R. Alligood.
Matthew Sharp.
Lily Alligood.
And I went to New York over the spring.
While we were in New York, our main purpose was to pray with people. So we evangelized on the street, and we went to food pantries, clothes pantries, and we just were focusing on just really ministering to people, anyone we saw.
Each morning while we were there during the week, we would go to soup kitchens or like clothing places. We'd help like pack up stuff, and then a bunch of like the homeless people or whatever, they came in and they would like take what we prepared for them, and then like during the afternoon we would focus more on the homeless people on the streets, and we would go pray for them and talk with them. And we'd also had prepared like socks and other clothing and food that we would give out to them on the streets as well.
Honestly, when I first went there, I wasn't comfortable at all, but kind of getting used to it because it was a full week of doing it. I kind of got more comfortable and I guess, yeah, more used to it. If you're out of your comfort zone, just maybe go to a friend, and just standing side by side with a friend and talking to someone homeless is a big help. My opinion for how you should prepare to go on a mission trip like this is prepare your heart for anything, really.
It was kind of amazing that these people were homeless or they were in need. It was really cool because I got to help them prepare their food and kind of like put it in bags and give it to them and just ask them how they were doing.
That's when you can see that God has really been working in their lives, and not only He's been working in us the whole week we were there, but He's been working with those who more need than us. So it was neat to see God working in us and them at the same time in the same week.
I'm Maddie Black, and I went to the Dominican Republic this summer.
I'm Jake Gritter, and I went to the DR this summer.
I'm Julia Harris.
I'm Melinda Shaw. I'm Hannah Warner, and I went to Dominican Republic.
When I went to the Dominican Republic, we went into the local bateys, which are just like Haitian slums basically, and we built latrines for them, which are just outhouses basically. They don't have a place to go to the bathroom, and so it just makes for really poor sanitation, and so we built latrines there, and just seeing the faces of people, like they were so grateful, and they were always super willing to help. Like they wanted to learn how to do it so they can make it for themselves and that they can make themselves a better community.
Well, at the VPS that we helped out with, we were there for a couple days, and we came back each day and like told them a Bible story. After every session, more and more kids accepted Christ every day.
While we were there, we built a youth chapel for a church that was in the area that we were staying in, and we also built a pavilion for the VBS that the church had.
The best advice I could give to someone who wants to go on a mission trip is just to do it. Don't be nervous.
More than just okay.
Hi, I'm Lucy Mills, and I went to Kharkiv, Ukraine on a missions trip.
Hi, my name is Miranda, and I went to Jamaica this summer.
The way we ran the camp was sort of like a vacation Bible school here. We'd have a morning program, we'd do crafts with the kids, and we'd have Bible time and all sorts of things like that. And it's really interesting because it's a really dark camp. You go and you see these kids and they have no hope in their eyes. And then you come and you don't know what you have to offer. And at first you're like, oh great, this is going to be awesome. And then you're kind of nervous. And then you're like, oh, will anything change? And then it's really cool at the end of the trip to see the things that do change.
We got to spend a lot of time with kids and just build relationships, and I don't know, it's cool just being able to get to know people and in their own surroundings. The relationships that were built previous years was amazing. It's awesome to see like how much these people care about us and how much we care about them. And to build those relationships, those are things that you think about all the time when you come home. People who have like gone on the trips before like haven't seen like the outcome of what they did, and it was cool for me to be able to see like all the work that they did and the relationships they built, and for me to be able to take them and like build onto those projects and relationships.
I was a little nervous because it was my first missions trip. You know, it was a long way from home. It's a 8-hour flight from Georgia to Amsterdam, and then you still have to fly into Kiev, and then you have to drive 7 hours to Kharkiv. But it was worth it.
If you're gonna plan on going on a mission trip, if God's gonna provide the money, don't hesitate. God fully provided for me in my mission trip, and I am so thankful for that.
When I'm there with the sunshine, I want more than just a
Hi, I'm Jacob Stevens and I went to MFUGE this summer.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Grudecki and I went to MFUGE this summer.
This year in Charleston, I was in the social group, and what we did was we went to a food bank the first day and we packed boxes of like cans, and we packed boxes of like days old bread and like pastries and everything.
A memorable moment that I had there was with this one little boy named Lloyd. We were burying treasure on the playground and he told me, he just looked at me and he said, "What was your name again?" And then I said, I'm Jacob. And then he's like, "You're a good friend." And this was like literally like 10 minutes after I met him. So he just like, we just really hit it off well.
What really ministered to me is actually someone who was actually on my team. He was from Georgia and he had just got saved this year. And he said, he was telling me a story about how he was actually a drug dealer and he had recently been busted. He told me his life and crazy testimony this guy had. He actually found out that he wasn't allowed to go to MFUGE, and so, because he was on probation, and so he actually had to go back to his probation officer, but then he actually came back to MFUGE, and then he gave his testimony about how he ministered to his probation officer, and his probation officer got saved, and so he was able to come back to MFUGE, and it was just an amazing story. That guy really impacted my life.
What I like about MFUGE is that it's not just a missions trip, it's a personal strengthening too. And this year we grew a lot as a youth group, and every night we have church devotions where we all come together and share about our day and we talk about what God is doing in our life. And this is probably the closest we've ever been as a youth group, and we had a lot of new people, and it was a big family, and it was really amazing.
Hi, my name is Hannah McGahee, and I went to Honduras this summer. For all that they had, it was very surprising how happy they were, and just have a lot of fun in what you're doing. Even if it's something that you would think was miserable, just make it a lot of fun, and then you'll have fun.